thing was that I wanted to watch the newest. I needed an excuse to watch Ironheart because, and I'm gonna spoil the absolute shit out of Ironheart. I'm sorry if you haven't seen it. Go watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, that sucks.
What?
Hello? For real?
Welcome, Riri. In less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
Oh, what is this?
Your interview. You'll suffocate and die unless you break into the device on the floor, where you'll find a gas mask. Good luck.
Screw this.
I wanted to watch Ironheart. Need an excuse to watch Ironheart. We're doing Marvel. I had to watch it. For those of you who don't know who Ironheart is Girl Iron Man. No. She.
I mean, yes.
Not really. That's kind of the thing. So the reason why I wanted to watch this was, and this is a big old spoiler for this show, I saw a clip that Mephisto finally shows up in this show, and I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And he's played by Sacha Baron Cohen, and I was like, "I need to know what the context is for this because like that is incoherent. That this character doesn't seem like this. That doesn't make any sense." Like the rest of these. The show would be better if it was a movie. Like it is at its core two things. It is a quite an interesting follow up to Iron Man, and there's elements to this that follow up on Iron Man that are interesting, and the dynamic between her and Tony Stark is interesting. Because the whole point of this show is that she is not Tony Stark. Like she does everything the opposite of Tony Stark. You know, instead of being a billionaire, she's a person from the street. And that's not to say I don't have issues with this show, but in the later half, oh sorry, it's part the interesting follow up to Iron Man, and it's part a show about magic. The bad guy is a magical guy, and the whole concept of it is meant to be, it's magic versus technology. Like, that's the idea. But it doesn't really work. So, the beginning of this is basically, she is at MIT, and she, in order to afford to make her Iron Man suit, she is selling tests and assignments to students, and she gets kicked out of MIT. And she goes back home, and she winds up working for a criminal gang of various talented people, whatever, led by I'm gonna say his name, you're not gonna know it, but Anthony Ramos. He is, you remember Transformers, the new one, like the newest live action one, the main lead guy in that?
No, not really.
You know, in Hamilton,
Sure.
you know the actor who plays Hamilton's adult son.
No, not really.
He
Does it really matter?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's quite good.
Okay.
He's really good as this character, but he has a magic cloak that allows him to walk through walls and turn invisible and bend bullets, and it's magic. And so in the third episode, she runs into she, while trying to get parts for the suit, meets Philip. He's Philip in oh, it's gonna bug me now. Anyway, he's the guy who wants to free the slaves in Hamilton.
Okay.
You know him.
I'm sure I do. It doesn't really matter in the moment, though. You can just show me a picture later.
I could probably show you a picture now if I wanted to. Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
We're running out of time, man.
Anyway. So yeah, she works for his gang. And in the third or fourth episode, they introduce a guy named Chris McGillicuddy is his name, and he's got all of these like parts, like Iron Man parts, and the unit they say like bionic parts, but in universe They constantly say they're illegal. It's like, oh, if I get busted with these, I'm going to get arrested and sent to jail if I have all these illegal bionic parts. But like in universe, they've never established bionic parts as being illegal, to my knowledge. Maybe you remember?
I mean, I know that when any salvage parts, the like you're not supposed to keep or whatever.
Yeah,
but
the vulture guys, whatever. Yeah. And so, the other thing is like this show comes in. The first episode's terrible. Like the first episode is terrible because it drops you into this character. And
I mean, to be fair, none of the show looked very interesting.
The last of it. Well, the big problem is like it's a lot of like telling and not showing. So like because it doesn't want to take the time to slowly. It only has 6 episodes. It doesn't want to take the time to like work up to introducing you to this character and allowing you to get to know her. It does that thing where characters just vomit exposition and like vomit her backstory or like have interactions that normal humans would never have. So like there's a scene in the first episode where she walks in and like a bunch of people, her mom and a bunch of her friends are just like, I've been having such trouble with Riri ever since her stepdad died. Yeah, it was real sad that her stepdad died. She's never been the same since her stepdad died. And it was like, you would never have a conversation like that callously out in the open without any level of sensitivity. But the show needs to teach you who this character is for reasons that become apparent later. So like, yeah. So like it just kind of jumps through this character's life and it tells you that she does, that every character has a story that it's like, yeah, it would be great if you showed me this. Like it would be great if this character moment that you're referencing, if we got to see that instead of you just telling me it happened off screen. Like it wants this character to be a thing without doing any of the legwork. So anyways, yeah. So like I think it's like the 3rd episode. They introduce Chris McGillicuddy and he helps her build a new Iron Man suit. Oh yeah, the Iron Man suit also, her suit looks terrible. Like it doesn't get better from, I don't know if you remember it from Black Panther 2. I remember at the time you were like, it looks terrible. It doesn't get much better. She has 3 suits and I think the second one looks all right, but they for the most part don't look very good.
Yeah, you're not really selling this show, Justin.
Well, okay, so this is where it gets. So the whole bit with her is she sucks. Like early on in the show, she sucks.
Really not selling the show.
So her whole bit is that she's Tony Stark without any of the hubris.
Without any of the white privilege.
Yeah, exactly. Without getting trapped in the cave. So I keep beating her out. She meets this guy.
That's what I said.
She meets this guy who helps her build the new Iron Man suit. And it turns out, big twist, because I'm like, oh, I recognize him. Why do I recognize him? And I'm trying to figure out who's playing him, and I can't find his character's name in the cast list. And I'm like, oh, he looks so familiar. And it turns out, big twist, he is actually Obadiah Stane's son.
Oh, snap.
And the twist is that within the universe of the MCU, he died 15 years ago. You remember how... at the end of Iron Man 2, I don't know if you remember, but at the end of Iron Man 2, they said that Obadiah Stane died in a plane crash. So nobody found out that he was the Ironmonger. Nobody found out that he tried to kill Tony Stark. That was all covered up. It all got covered up by S.H.I.E.L.D. So the world thinks Obadiah Stane is this philanthropist, like this good guy. And it's kind of a commentary on like rich like millionaires and like how you think that they're good guys and yeah, they're actually not. And his whole thing is that he doesn't want to be his dad. His dad was a monster who was awful and tried to kill Iron Man, and he knows the truth. He knows that his dad was this ironmonger who was a bad guy, and his whole thing is, I don't want to be my dad. Don't make me be my dad. And so it kind of becomes this thing of it becomes a kind of inverse relationship of the Obadiah Stane Tony Stark relationship, where now she's the bad guy in the relationship. She's the bad one because she takes advantage of his good nature and takes advantage of his kindness, and she becomes suspicious of the guy with the magic cloak, who is becoming progressively more and more aggressive or whatever, and they do a big heist, and she, over the course of the big heist, is trying to, she borrows a piece of technology, that whatever it is, doesn't really matter, to get a piece of the cloak from him so she can analyze it without him knowing. And she gets busted by the guy's brother or cousin or brother or whatever, who is described as being the guy with the knives. He stabs people. That's his whole thing. And so he finds out that she's double-crossing them, and he tries to stab her, and they get into a big fight, and she gets the suit back, and she just leaves him to die. Like later on, a character is like, oh yeah, it was in self-defense, and it was like, no, you left him in a room that was about to be gassed with the door locked as he slowly suffocated to death. No, that wasn't self-defense. That was kind of a murder. But so she accidentally leaves back the thing that he gave her to help her get this cloak. He's like, don't leave it behind or lose it. Don't let this get connected back to me. I don't want people to find out like who I am, and I don't want to be associated with my dad. And so the police end up finding this thing that connects this murder to him, and he gets arrested and sent to jail. And the world finds out that he's Ezekiel Stane. He is Obadiah Stane's dad, and son. Yeah, he's Obadiah Stane's son. Sorry, and the world now hates him because they think now he's stained his dad's good legacy and his dad's good name, because they think that his dad is this philanthropist. So now he hates her and wants to kill her. So he goes to the hood.
Justifiably so.
Yeah, justifiably so. So she turns him into a bad guy, and he gets a bunch of the bionics or whatever, and converts himself into a like a supervillain, and goes to kill her basically.
No, he's not a supervillain. He's trying to take down the supervillain.
Well, yeah, and so then it basically
he's a hero.
What ends up happening is the bad guy hijacks his equipment and makes him try to kill innocent people. It turns out like he's the bad guy, and she feels bad about it, and they ultimately reconcile, and that's her arc through the thing, is learning to let people in and learning to be a better person. But the whole thing is like she's not a great person, and throughout it there's a really fun character early on in the show. The big thing that's annoying is her going to Wakanda, for the most part, never comes back. Girl Black Panther never shows up. Like there's one brief mention of Wakanda, with the stuff happening in Wakanda, and that's kind of it. Until she uses this advanced Wakandan AI, where she uses it to scan her brain, and it creates an AI that's an exact replica, digital clone, basically, like has her memories of everything, of her dead best friend. And the AI clone, which is a sort of a reference to in the original comics, she's got an AI Tony Stark that follows her around. It's a reference to that. But she's really fun. She's really fun.
This show sounds really bad.
It's honestly the first 2 episodes are not very good, but like the back half, when it's an Iron Man show and it's about the inverse of Obadiah's, the Stane Stark relationship of like or Ironmonger, like he is the opposite to his dad, and like it's an Iron Man versus Iron Man kind of show. Yeah, no, it's honestly kind of interesting because she is different to Tony Stark, and they contrast her to Tony Stark. There's so many moments that contrast her to Tony Stark excellently. When it's not trying to take shortcuts and skip important steps, and it's actually doing character stuff. Like the AI character is really funny. She's really fun. She has a lot of really great back and forth with Ironheart. That's really, really good. Where this show gets bad is the bad guy uses magic. So there's a bit early on where she just inexplicably has a friend who's a witch. Like she goes to visit this house, and like she brings the mom is she's into new age spiritual. She's like a Reiki kind of person. So she takes her to one of her friends, who is played by the woman who does the voice of from Rugrats, Little Susie.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's her. She's there, and she has this like holistic shop, and she goes to the daughter, and the daughter's like, "Oh, let me take you to this space," and she uses magic, and the Ironheart's mom is like, "What the fuck? Magic exists in this world? What the hell?" And like, and I'm like, but everyone knows who Doctor Strange is. Doctor Strange is a well-known hero in this universe. What do you mean you don't know? Magic is an established thing in this universe. Your inability to suspend your disbelief is weird.
But is Doctor Strange a well-known magic?
Yes, magic is known in this. Yes, is known in this universe. Yes,
no,
it is
but
absolutely.
Is Doctor Strange well-known?
Yes, post Endgame. Yes, he absolutely is.
What makes you say that?
Because everyone who within this universe, it's been established that everyone knows what happened in the war with Thanos. It is an established event. Like, everyone knows what happened. It's a thing that people know about.
They
characters
know
make references to stuff that happened in that ballot.
They know that a bunch of heroes went, but do they know that specifically Doctor Strange?
They know that Doctor Strange.
Have you seen it on camera?
Well, no, but there's been enough references. Hold on, there's been enough references. Hold on,
don't know.
But there's been enough references to characters knowing to, at the very least, they know Wong and magic exist in that universe. Characters know that magic exists. Certainly, they would, because they would have it.
Sure, magic, yes, but I'm saying specifically Doctor Strange.
No. What I'm saying is
they don't know everything that happened.
What I'm
saying. Let me finish. For example, they didn't know that Peter Parker was until he came back and was revealed.
Right. But my point
is that
he
had his mask off multiple times.
My point is that they know that magic exists in this universe. So her indignation or her surprise that magic. But to be fair, I will be fair. Hold on. Let me. To be fair, though, once they don't act. Once they find out it's real, they don't act as though it's weird. Like, I will give it that credit. Like once Riri finds out that this is a magical cloak, like, there is a line that they go, well, aliens and shit and exist in this universe, so it is not an inherently out of pocket thing. It's just the mom being like, what, magic? I'm like, no, but half of the world that's where I'm saying, like, this show has a problem with the snap, where it's like, yeah, but half of your universe snap. From your perspective, that would be magic. From her perspective, that would look like magic. Like, they wouldn't distinguish that it's not magic, it's physics, but they wouldn't know that. So she would know that. But anyway, so this friend exists, and they go back to her a lot, and like there's a bunch of like shit happens in this because it has to happen in a story like this. So the best friend, the Riri's love interest, is the brother of the best friend, who is now a realistic AI, and he doesn't know that she exists. And he happens to meet her, and he's like, I want you to delete her because this is a violation of my sister's memory. And I'm like, I just feel like if you talk to it for like 5 minutes, you would probably have more of a softened opinion on this. But that's just me. But anyway. So she kills the brother, and so yeah, the Hood, and they hate her, and she gets defeated by Ezekiel Stane. The suit gets destroyed, whatever. And you think that the best friend is dead, and it turns out she's still around, the AI is still around, and they go back to this friend who has magic, and they try to imbue her new armor, because she's built new armor, with magic. So she tries to imbue it with magic so she can have magic armor, and that accidentally kills the AI friend. And she's like, I don't have time to compartmentalize. I have to compartmentalize this. I don't have time to deal with this. Magic broke this. Magic will fix this. And at the beginning of the episode, throughout the series, like, they've shown flashbacks to the main bad guy, and how he's like a small town crook, and something caused him to become really powerful and give him the Hood. And you think it's Dormammu. They keep saying Dormammu, and I'm like, it's just weird. Just in an in-universe, why? You point out Wong wouldn't at least show up, but in the out-of-universe, like, why is it's like Stephen Strange involved in this? Dormammu is like his nemesis. It just kind of feels like he specifically would take some sort of involvement in this. And so then at the beginning of the last episode, Sacha Baron Cohen shows up, and he makes this deal with the main bad guy, and he's like, I'll give you power, and he's like, I want to be a king. Give me that and whatever. And so yeah, so She powers up the armor with magic. She goes to fight him, and there's a big punch at the end where he turns into a weird demon thing, and they do a big punch. And like some of the special effects look okay, like some of the action sequences are all right. I quite liked him as this bad guy, so I enjoyed him. He wasn't like mustache twirly evil. He was kind of had a bit more nuance to him. And so then she takes away the cloak. That's what it is. She rips the cloak away from him. It's like, you can't have this. And he's like, you don't. And the entire time the cloak has been like corrupting him and like causing this like scarring up all and down his back and all along his body. And it's slowly turning him into a demon or whatever. And yeah, she manages to get it away from him. He's like, no, you don't understand. When I don't wear this, it causes me like extreme pain, like unbelievable pain. Give it back. And she's like, no. And Sacha Baron Cohen appears to her and it is like, I can do whatever you want. Like, I can make you big. You want to be big? You want to be bigger than Tony Stark? I can make you bigger than Tony Stark. And she's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Mephisto. And
snap.
And it's like, what is he doing in like Sacha Baron Cohen is legit good as Mephisto. Like, I want to see him come back as Mephisto in a thing that's better than this, because he is legit unsettling. He is the scenes with him are like uncomfortable and tense. Like, you feel like any moment he'll just obliterate you. Like, it is quality. It is a good performance.
Dormammu, man.
Dormammu. Dormammu. That ugly pillock isn't fit to clean my glorious arsehole.
Okay. If it ain't Dormammu, then what?
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have introduced myself. I go by a lot of names. Some of them are actually a bit cruel and hurtful to me. But I like you, Riri, so you can call me Mephisto.
Is well done. Like I say, the scenes between him and Riri are really good. Like, they're genuinely good. And, like, I just wish he was in a better show than this. Like, this would be better if it were a movie. Like any of these shows. If you cut out all of the fat out of this and made it into a tight 2-hour movie, this would be, like, way better. Like, way better. I've lost Jordan. Way better. Jordan, are you still there?
I'm having to switch over.
Oh, okay. But you can still hear me, right? Hold on. We're going to give Jordan a chance to switch over. His sound is going to take a dip in quality because I've let this run for too long. It's the season finale. It's big and busted. I just need Jordan to hear me. So yeah, Ironheart. Ironheart is okay. I'm going to stall while Jordan's switching over to his Bluetooth headphones. I'm going to stall. Yeah, it's 2 shows. It's a quite a decent Iron Man show, and it is a bad magic show. I just don't think the magic stuff works ultimately. I'm stalling.
Why won't you turn on?
I might have to wrap up the show without Jordan being able to hear me.
Talk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just about at the end anyway. Sacha Baron Cohen, Mephisto. Oh yeah, so then he goes back and forth with her, trying to make a deal, and yeah, she's sad because the AI who like she's become really good friends with has died basically, and so she makes a deal with him, and in between as she's making the deal, you see that the AI has seemingly come back to life, and she goes to touch her, and it's the actual best friend, and she's been brought back to life. And that's that's how the season ends. And then in the meantime, the bad guy, the Hood, he's gone to the friend looking for magic to try and get revenge. And they, for some reason, think they're getting a second season of this when it really wasn't all that well received and not many people watched it. It was sort of quasi-okay, critically well received. The problem with this is all the negative reception I've seen to this all boiled down to idiots who are racist. So I haven't seen any legitimate...
That sounds about right. I never had any interest in it, though.
It like any of these shows is wildly unbalanced. There's stuff in there to like. I think you might have been more tolerant of it if it was a movie, but it's just to commit.
No, I don't think so, because it's just Girl Iron Man.
But it's not. That's my whole point. It's not just Girl Iron Man. She's completely different from Iron. Like that's kind of her whole deal. Like fans of her in the comics would get indignant if I were to. But no, her whole point is that she's not Iron Man.
Saying she's not Tony Stark is great. She's still just a girl Iron Man.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
She's a girl in an Iron Man suit. She's Girl Iron Man.
I mean, but she's not Iron. That's my point. It's like, yeah, she may be a girl in an Iron Man suit.
What you're saying is she's not Tony Stark. I never said she was Tony Stark. I said she's just Girl Iron Man.
No, but I mean, like, in terms of mantle-wise, superhero-wise, she's not Iron Man. Like, she has an Iron Man suit, yeah, sure. That's kind of the thing. But like her whole like really a closer, like if you want Girl Iron Man, a better example of Girl Iron Man would be Rescue. You don't know who Rescue is, do you?
I don't know who that is.
Remember in Endgame, when Pepper Potts showed up in an Iron Man suit?
Yeah, that was also just Girl Iron Man.
That's Girl Iron Man. That is Girl Rescue. That her superhero name is Rescue. She is Girl Iron Man. But Ironheart, very specifically in her comic book origins and in this, the whole point to her is she's a reflection of Iron Man. Like, she is not Iron Man. That is the whole thesis of the show.
That's great.
Whether or not it works or not is debatable, but that is the point, is she is not Iron Man.
I just always saw her as a character who's not for me. She's not for me. She's not created for me. She's not meant for me.
The thing is, though, she will never come back. So.
I have no interest in her, so I was probably never gonna watch her shit.
No, I only watched it for this. I would have never watched it. To be completely frank with you, the only reason why I watched it was for Mephisto, because it was like every week with WandaVision. It was like, oh, is that Mephisto? Oh, it's Mephisto. Mephisto's behind the whole thing. Remember when the whole TikTok had like worked itself. We were constantly theorizing, and we got let down by WandaVision because we all assumed it would be Mephisto. And then in the second episode, in the first episode of Loki, they mentioned some demon or whatever, and everyone once again went, what if it's Mephisto? Like, for the longest time, it was like, is Mephisto coming? When is Mephisto coming? So the fact that he finally showed up and it's in this show of all places, like, why this show? Why was this the place where, like, Mephisto is like a big deal?
Because they knew the character that they had the show about was otherwise not interesting, and they needed something to save it. No,
it's because they wanted to do this like thematic. It's that's how I'm gonna wrap this up. They wanted like, because in the last episode they tried to do this like, oh, it's technology versus magic and thing, but most of the show isn't that. Most of the show is her relationship to Ezekiel Stane and mistakes and like fixing your mistakes. It's not a magic versus technology thing, so it fundamentally just doesn't work. Like, this show would be way better if the bad guy was Ezekiel Stane and the Hood was just a regular gang member, and it was like she did screw him over and send him to jail, and they made him into this villain, and it was a tragic story about how he became a villain and how he turned her into be a villain, and how like it's a subversion of the Obadiah Stane Tony Stark relationship, where Tony Stark doesn't want to create weapons and wants to create a protective suit of armor, and Ezekiel Stane just wants to make weapons. Well, she wants to make weapons, and he just wants to not make, like, he wants to be good. Like, I think as a parallel to those characters, it really works, but it gets buried under all this magic nonsense that makes the show incoherent and not work. And yeah, it's just, again, this feels like a sequel to a thing I never saw. It's trying to skip steps. And I think this is I think this is the lesson they're learning. I think this is the remnants to tie this all together and to finally end this season 4, to end season 4 of the show. I think they're learning it with Fantastic Four. They've learned their lesson and being like, we can't skip steps. We have to do a foundation. There needs to be a foundation. Even if it's just a 5-minute montage of having a talk show host explain to you what their deal is. You can't come into a story part way. In the MCU anyway. You can't just skip over. You have to, in order for it to work, you have to take the time to work on these characters. Because, for most of this, for the first 2 episodes, it was frustrating.
Certainly for the not so well known ones.
Yeah.
Like Girl Iron Man.
Like to me, this is most comparable to a much better version of this is Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is a much better version of this, is what I would say. Like, she is too capable. She doesn't, like, her struggles in terms of building the Iron Man suit. She's already built a perfectly functional Iron Man suit. She builds 3 perfectly functional Iron Man suits like they're nothing. And it's just, there isn't enough setup to her ability to do that. She could just kind of already do that. Like I say, it's a lot of telling me and not showing me, if that makes sense.
It does.
I cannot say as to whether or not you would enjoy this, but it would be interesting for this. I would only ever ask you to watch it for this, but even then, I don't know that I'd ever want to come back to talking about this again. Maybe the only way I would is if Mephisto comes back. If Mephisto comes back, then I'd be like, you should go see where this originates. That would be the only way I would. Otherwise, I'd be like, you could skip this. Like, if what's bizarre about bringing in Mephisto at this point is you did the One More Day storyline already. Like, that's the whole reason to have Mephisto.
Or Ghost Rider.
Like, yeah. Oh, I guess, maybe if they bring in if they do a Ghost Rider movie and Sacha Baron Cohen is in it as Mephisto, I'd be down for that. But that would be the only spot I'd be like, you should go check out Ironheart to see. And even then, you could probably watch the scenes with him on YouTube. But they're good. They're legit good. He's legit good as Mephisto. Like, it is quite good. It's surprisingly good casting. It's just weird it's in this show. But that's it. Hey there, everybody. It's Endcard Justin here. Have you seen Ironheart? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let me know. Do you agree? Is it just really confused? It's a confused show. I don't get it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. In the meantime, if you would like to see the full Marvel special that this video is from, you click the box on the left. Or if you would like to see a random video, you click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week, including a fresh new podcast every single Sunday. Or you can just leave us a like. That helps us out too. But we will see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.